In a small village set on rolling hills and dense forest, lived a beautiful young girl named Lily. A bright and brave Black American girl, had always felt a strong connection to the enchanted forest. As a child, her grandmother told her stories of the fairies that lived deep within the woods, magical creatures that could heal even the sickest of souls. These stories were more than bedtime tales to Lily, they were a source of hope, especially now. Lily's grandmother, her rock and guide through life, had fallen gravely ill. No modern medicine seemed to work, and the doctors were losing hope. But Lily refused to give up. She remembered the stories her grandmother told her, about a hidden path deep in the enchanted forest where the fairies lived. These fairies were said to possess powerful healing abilities, and Lily was determined to find them. That evening, she set off on a journey, accompanied by her boyfriend, Marcus. He was supportive, knowing how much her grandmother meant to her, and how much these fairy tales had shaped her life. Together, they entered the forest, the air thick with mystery and magic. The trees were taller than any they'd ever seen, their bark glowing faintly in the fading light. Fireflies danced around them like tiny stars, leading the way deeper into the forest. As they walked, Lily told Marcus more about the fairies. My grandmother used to say they only appear to those with pure hearts. They sense your intentions, and if they believe in you, they'll show themselves. Marcus, always the skeptic, smiled but said nothing. He didn't believe in fairies, but he believed in Lily, and that was enough for him. Hours passed as they walked, the path becoming more mystical with every step. Glowing plants lined their way, illuminating the path ahead. Just when Lily thought they might never find the fairies, they stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center was a circle of shimmering light, and within it, tiny winged creatures were fluttering. The fairies, Lily whispered in awe. She felt a tug at her heart, the same feeling she had when her grandmother first told her these stories. She stepped forward, kneeling before the fairies. Please, she began, her voice filled with emotion, I need your help. My grandmother, she's sick. You're her only hope. The fairies looked at Lily, their glowing eyes full of understanding. One, the smallest and brightest, flew up to her. We know of your grandmother, child. She has always believed in us, and because of that, we will help her. The fairy waved her hand, and suddenly, the clearing was filled with the soft hum of magic. Flowers bloomed around them, filling the air with a sweet scent, and the ground began to glow. The fairy reached out to Lily, touching her hand gently. Take this blessing, she said, a soft light transferring from the fairy's hand to Lily's. It will heal your grandmother. But remember, this magic works best when combined with love and hope. Tears welled up in Lily's eyes as she felt the warmth of the magic. Thank you, she whispered, overwhelmed with gratitude. With the fairy's blessing, Lily and Marcus quickly made their way back to her grandmother's home. By the time they arrived, dawn was breaking, casting a golden light over the quiet town. Lily rushed into her grandmother's room, kneeling by her bedside. As she gently held her grandmother's hand, Lily felt the warmth of the fairy's magic flow through her. The old woman stirred, her breathing becoming more even, her face regaining color. Slowly, her eyes fluttered open, a soft smile spreading across her face as she saw Lily. You did it, my child, her grandmother whispered, her voice filled with pride. You found the fairies, just like I always knew you would. Lily smiled through her tears, Marcus standing behind her, his hand on her shoulder. I couldn't have done it without you, Grandma, Lily said softly. Your stories guided me. As they sat together, the magic still lingering in the air, Lily knew that her grandmother's stories were more than just tales, they were a connection to the magic in the world, a reminder that hope and love could heal anything. With newfound energy, her grandmother swung her legs over the side of the bed. Let's get some breakfast into us, she declared, her voice firm with determination. Lily helped her grandmother to the kitchen, their movements filled with joy. As they prepared breakfast together, the air buzzed with laughter and light-hearted banter. For the first time in weeks, the heavy weight of illness seemed to lift, replaced by the warmth of shared moments. Just as they sat down to enjoy their meal, a knock at the door startled them. Lily glanced at her grandmother. "I get it." She opened the door to reveal Marcus, his face alight with concern and curiosity. "How is she?" he asked, stepping inside and glancing at Lily's grandmother. "I'm much better, dear Marcus," her grandmother said warmly. "Thanks to this brave girl here." Marcus smiled, relief flooding his features as he embraced Lily. "I'm so glad to hear that. I was worried." After sharing the story of their adventure and the fairies' blessing, Marcus's eyes shone with admiration. "You really did it, Lily. I always knew you had it in you." Lily felt a flush of pride at his words. "I couldn't have done it without you. You believed in me even when I doubted myself." As they finished breakfast, Lily's grandmother began to tell them about her own experiences with magic, how she believed that the world was filled with unseen wonders, waiting to be discovered by those willing to look. "We often overlook the magic around us," she said, her voice warm and comforting. "But it's there, in the smallest of things, the beautiful sunset, a kind word, or a simple act of love." Lily nodded, her heart swelling with understanding. "Maybe we can share our story. We could tell others about the fairies and the magic of hope." Her grandmother's eyes sparkled. "That sounds wonderful. We can start a community gathering, inviting friends and neighbors to share their own stories of magic and love." Excitement bubbled within Lily as they began planning their first gathering. The idea of bringing people together, of sharing their experiences and igniting hope in others, felt like a powerful way to honor the fairies' gift. In the days that followed, Lily and her grandmother worked tirelessly to prepare for the gathering. They designed colorful invitations, each adorned with drawings of fairies and enchanted forests. With Marcus's help, they spread the word throughout their neighborhood, inviting everyone to come and share their stories. The night of the gathering arrived, and Lily felt a mixture of nerves and excitement as she and her grandmother set up the backyard. They draped twinkling lights in the trees, creating a magical atmosphere that felt alive with possibility. As guests began to arrive, Lily's heart raced. She greeted everyone with warmth, introducing them to her grandmother, who welcomed each person with open arms. Laughter and chatter filled the air as they shared snacks and stories, the atmosphere vibrant with energy. Once everyone had gathered, her grandmother stood up to speak. "Thank you all for being here tonight," she began, her voice ringing with warmth. "We are here to share the magic in our lives, to remind ourselves that hope exists in every corner of our world." Lily stepped forward, her heart pounding. "I want to share my story about the fairies," she said, her voice steady despite her nerves. "When my grandmother fell ill, I remembered her stories and found the courage to seek them out. They healed her, and I believe that magic is real." Gasps of disbelief rippled through the crowd, but Lily continued, her passion igniting a spark of belief in the hearts of those listening. "The fairies showed me that magic isn't just in stories, it's in love and hope. We all have the power to create our own magic," she concluded, looking around at the faces illuminated by fairy lights. Applause erupted, and Lily's heart soared. As others began to share their own stories, tales of hope, love, and resilience, Lily felt a profound sense of connection. The gathering became a sanctuary, a place where everyone felt safe to share their experiences and embrace the magic within themselves. That night, as they shared laughter and stories, Lily realized that their gathering had transformed into something beautiful. It wasn't just about the fairies, it was about the connections they forged, the love that flowed between them, and the hope that filled the air. As the evening drew to a close, Lily felt grateful for the fairies' blessing and for the love that surrounded her. "Thank you, Grandma," she whispered as they cleared away the remnants of the gathering. "This was magical." Her grandmother smiled, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. "You brought this magic into our lives, dear. Remember that we can always create our own magic when we believe." With a heart full of hope, Lily knew that this was just the beginning of their journey. As weeks turned into months, the gatherings continued, each one growing larger and more vibrant than the last. More people began to share their stories, igniting a fire of belief and hope within the community. Word of their magical gatherings spread, attracting even more attendees eager to share their tales of wonder and resilience. Lily felt a sense of purpose and joy as she organized the events with her grandmother and Marcus. They created a warm and inviting atmosphere, decorating the backyard with fairy lights, flowers, and colorful banners. The air was always filled with laughter, delicious food, and an undercurrent of excitement as people arrived, eager to connect with others and share their experiences. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, Lily gathered everyone around for the night's storytelling. "Tonight, I want to encourage everyone to share their dreams," she said, her voice ringing out with enthusiasm. "What magic do you wish to see in the world? What hope do you carry in your heart?" The crowd buzzed with energy, and one by one, people began to share their dreams and aspirations. An elderly man spoke about his desire to travel the world, to experience different cultures and connect with people from all walks of life. A young girl dreamt of becoming an artist, using her talents to inspire others. Lily listened intently, her heart swelling with pride as she watched the community come together. Each story was filled with magic and hope, reminding them all that dreams were worth pursuing, no matter how big or small. After the gathering, as guests began to leave, Marcus pulled Lily aside. "You know, you're really inspiring everyone," he said, his eyes shining with admiration. "I've been thinking, maybe we could take this even further." "What do you mean?" Lily asked, her curiosity piqued. "What if we created a small booklet of these stories? We could publish it and share it with others outside our community," Marcus suggested, his enthusiasm contagious. Lily's eyes widened with excitement. "That's an amazing idea. We could include illustrations, photographs, and maybe even a section about the fairies and how they inspired me." Marcus nodded, a grin spreading across his face. "Exactly. We can showcase the magic of our community and encourage others to believe." As they brainstormed ideas, Lily felt a renewed sense of purpose. She wanted to share the magic they had cultivated, to inspire others to find hope in their own lives. Over the next few weeks, Lily, Marcus, and her grandmother worked tirelessly to collect stories from the gatherings. They interviewed attendees, capturing their dreams and aspirations, and compiled them into a beautiful booklet filled with vibrant illustrations and heartfelt narratives. When the booklet was finally completed, Lily's heart raced with excitement as they gathered for the launch event. They decorated the backyard with colorful balloons and banners, transforming it into a celebration of magic and hope. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the gathering, Lily stood before her friends and family, holding the first copy of their booklet in her hands. "I'm so proud to share this with you all," she began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "This isn't just a collection of stories, It's a testament to the magic that lives within all of us. It's proof that even in the darkest of times, we can find light, hope, and connection. Lily's voice trembled slightly as she held up the booklet for everyone to see. The crowd erupted into applause, their faces glowing with pride and excitement. Many had contributed their own stories, and now, seeing their dreams and experiences bound together felt like a tangible expression of the magic they had created together. Marcus stood beside her, beaming with pride, while her grandmother sat in the front row, her eyes brimming with tears of joy. It was a moment of triumph, one that Lily knew would stay with her forever. After the applause died down, Lily invited everyone to take a copy of the booklet and encouraged them to share it with their friends and family. "Let's spread this magic far and wide," she said, her voice full of passion. "Let's remind people that hope exists, and that love and belief can heal the world." As the evening continued, people mingled, flipping through the pages of the booklet and sharing their thoughts. The air was filled with excitement and possibility, as if they had all tapped into a collective energy that transcended the physical world. Lily found herself standing off to the side, watching the scene unfold. She felt a deep sense of contentment, knowing that they had created something beautiful, something that would live on beyond this moment. Marcus joined her, slipping his arm around her waist. "You did it, Lily. You brought magic into people's lives." He smiled, leaning into him. "We did it. I couldn't have done this without you and Grandma." As they stood together, watching the gathering continue, Lily's grandmother approached them, her face glowing with pride. "I always knew you had a special gift, Lily. You've brought so much joy and hope to our community." Lily hugged her grandmother tightly, feeling the warmth of her love and support. "It's all because of you, Grandma. Your stories, your belief in magic, it's what inspired me." Her grandmother smiled, her eyes twinkling. "And now you're the one telling the stories, passing on the magic to others." Lily felt a surge of emotion as her grandmother's words sank in. She had come full circle, from being the little girl who listened to stories of fairies, to the woman who now shared her own tales of hope and magic with the world. As the evening drew to a close, and the last of the guests trickled out, Lily, Marcus, and her grandmother sat together under the twinkling lights, reflecting on the journey that had brought them to this moment. "I feel like this is just the beginning," Marcus said, his voice filled with excitement. "We've created something amazing, but there's so much more we can do." Lily nodded in agreement, her mind buzzing with ideas. "Maybe we could organize more events, reach out to other communities, and spread the message even further." Her grandmother smiled knowingly. "The world is ready for your magic, Lily. Keep believing, and you'll find that anything is possible." Lily's heart swelled with gratitude and determination. She knew that her journey wasn't over, and that there was still so much magic to discover. And with Marcus and her grandmother by her side, she felt unstoppable. That night, as she lay in bed, gazing up at the stars outside her window, Lily couldn't help but think of the fairies and the blessing they had given her. It had started with a single act of courage, a belief in something greater than herself. And now, that belief had blossomed into something far more powerful than she could have ever imagined. She closed her eyes, a smile on her lips, knowing that the magic of hope, love, and belief would continue to guide her in the days to come. Lily's grandmother's recovery was nothing short of miraculous. As the days passed, she regained her strength, her laughter filling the house once again. Lily spent every moment she could with her, cherishing their time together. But as her grandmother's health improved, so too did Lily's desire to share their story with even more people. One morning, as they sat together on the porch, sipping tea and watching the birds flit through the garden, her grandmother spoke up. "You've done something extraordinary, Lily. But I think it's time for you to take the next step." Lily looked at her, curiosity sparking in her chest. "What do you mean, Grandma?" Her grandmother smiled, her eyes twinkling at the corners. "You've brought magic to our little community, but there's a whole world out there waiting to hear your story. What if you took your message of hope and belief on the road? Travel to other towns, other cities, and share what you've learned." The idea hit Lily like a lightning bolt. Travel. Share the magic. Spread the hope. It felt right. It felt like the next step. "I love that idea," Lily said, her mind already racing with possibilities. "We could hold gatherings in other places, just like we did here. We could bring people together, share their stories, and remind them that magic is real." Her grandmother nodded. "Exactly. You've touched so many lives here, but your message is bigger than just one place. You have a gift, Lily. Don't be afraid to share it." Lily felt a surge of excitement. She had always been drawn to the idea of traveling, of seeing new places and meeting new people. And now, with a purpose so close to her heart, the idea of hitting the road felt like a calling. When she shared the idea with Marcus later that day, he was immediately on board. "I'm all in," he said with a grin. "We can travel together, meet new people, and spread the magic." Lily's heart swelled with love for him. He had always been her biggest supporter, even when he didn't fully believe in the fairies. Now, it seemed like their journey was just beginning, and she was grateful to have him by her side.
Will Lily be able to gather more people for her adventurous fairy tales? Let's watch out for the concluding part. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like my videos. You can also comment. Thank you all.